I'm here with Constance Fouillet, junior at the University of California, Berkeley, from France. Thanks for your time, Constance. How are you doing today?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well, thanks.
Yeah, finished up the fall season. Just, what are some of the things you're going to work on that, this winter to get ready for the spring season that begins in February?
So I think first I'm gonna try and rest because this semester was really intense for me.
Yeah.
So first goal would be like, yeah, getting some rest and then getting ready to start again. I'll obviously practice, get ready before the season gets started. I think
Mhm.
our first tournament is first week of February.
Yeah.
So obviously I'll be practicing and all that, but I'm going skiing for a bit, so that's gonna be fun. And
Mhm.
then after that, I'm log back in.
Mhm. So you like doing skiing? Do you have hobbies and activities outside of golf and things you like to do, particularly in these 3 months off November through January?
Yeah, so I usually go skiing every year with my family and some
Okay.
friends as well. So that's like the best 2 weeks of the year, honestly. And then I mean I like any sport, honestly. I picked golf, but it could have been anything else. So yeah, I think as long as I'm doing sports, everything's fine.
That's great. Yeah. In these 3 months you have off November, December, January, then you obviously start again in February. I've talked to, a lot of college golfers throughout the winter. For you, do you like, just practicing and, getting some rest and focusing on, your academics, or do you think you'll compete in any tournaments, this winter? How do you know, prioritize these 3 months off?
So I mean, so our season is kind of from February to end of October, right? So it's kind of long.
Yeah.
We play a lot of tournaments over summer as well, and big
Hmm.
ones. So, if anything, I would rather prioritize school for the next
Hmm.
2 months at least, especially because I missed a lot of school. So now, like, I'm gonna keep the grades up. So,
Yeah.
definitely a priority now. But still, I feel like if anything, you gotta use these 3 months to do some winter work, like the technical stuff, all the things that you can't really do in season,
Hmm.
and kind of like reset everything. Yeah, so these are like my priorities for this winter.
Yeah. And I see you plan to major in business. How for you? Is it, balancing golf and academics? Because I know Cal is, very good academically school.
Yeah, so I'm doing econ. I'm an
Okay.
econ major, yeah. And I mean, like I'm taking this one class, like math intensive class, econometrics. It's been tough to miss school and to then have like exams and all that. It's been very challenging, but I think I really like it. It's just a bit time consuming, and it's like you gotta really manage your time pretty well if you want to do well in both. I mean, if you want to do like okay in both school and golf.
Hmm. Yeah. How do you, yeah, like any advice? Like, how do you, have you learned throughout, because you're a junior now, have you learned how to manage your time better, now as a junior versus when you were, a freshman and a sophomore?
Um, that's a good question. I think I'm someone that loves doing lists. So like first thing I do like at night before the next day is making a list of all the things that I need to do. It kind of keeps me like locked in a way. Like I don't have to think about which priorities I have to put, like which things I have to put first, just because I did it the last day. So I just kind of go like, I mean, our days are just really busy. So you just gotta like do what you gotta do and then just be organized. I think that's the main advice.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I think you're doing pretty well. I see that you've been an all ACC academic. You were named to all ACC academics. So I'm sure you're doing well, academically in addition to golf. So that seems good.
Yeah.
So you're from France. You're from uh, I'll probably get this wrong, but Rennes, France. So just tell me a little about, your background. Grew up in France. Just tell me a little about your hometown and just how you got started playing golf.
So it's actually funny because I wanted to play soccer, and my mom, pretty early on, she was like, "No, you're a girl. You're not playing soccer."
Okay.
So I started playing tennis and then golf as well. And at some point, I had to pick between both. So I also did other sports like volleyball, so tennis, yeah, I did, and then horse riding and all that. And golf ended up being the sport that was taking more time, I would say. And then also like my coaches would be like telling me that I had potential. That's what they always say. I feel like that doesn't really mean anything, but so I started playing golf more, and then I had to quit tennis at some point and all the other sports.
Mhm.
Um, so that's how I got into golf, and then I started really enjoying it and winning tournaments and all that. So that's how I got really into it, and then
Mhm.
started going international. I mean, playing international tournaments, and then ended up getting in contact with the college coaches, and that's how I ended up here in Berkeley.
Yeah. So you played multiple sports. You mentioned like tennis, volleyball, just to name a few. So for you, some people just focused on golf, but you played multiple sports. What was it like for you, growing up and just playing multiple sports?
I think that was part of the education that I got. So my parents were really, they really wanted us, me, my brother, and my sister, to play sports. Um, and personally, I really enjoyed it. Like playing team sports was like my favorite thing to do. That's why sometimes I kind of wish that I had played a team sport, something like volleyball. I think I would have loved that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was so fun. I mean, I learned so much from both the individual, like tennis and golf, and then the team ones. So I think it was good balance for me to do a bit of everything.
Yeah, that's great. I didn't think about that. They're different sports, but you can learn, something from each sport playing it. Just tell me a little about, your background getting recruited, just, how you ended up hearing about Cal Berkeley being all the way from France, just how you ended up, choosing to attend, Cal Berkeley from France.
So at first I didn't really want to go to college. Like that wasn't actually an option. I mean, like that was probably like 6 years ago. Just
Did you
because
think you,
it's
did you, just to follow up on that, did you think you just wanted to stay home in France, or do you mean you just
I
didn't think about coming to the US?
yeah, so I had kind of I'm gonna say no idea in a way, but I
Okay.
just think it was really scary to go this far from home and
Yeah.
to do something like I obviously was hearing so many good experiences from college, from people that had gone to college and played golf there.
Mhm.
But you never actually believe it until you experience it. So I kind of had to trust it, and my parents were also pushing it because they knew that. I mean, back at home in France, it's really hard to do both sports and school. So it's like, what kind of solutions could you find? Well, there's the US. You know it works out for everyone that goes there. So like I just had to trust it, and then it was kind of mutual with Berkeley. So I can't remember who reached out first. I definitely sent emails and all that because my parents had like identified the universities that I was interested into. So like basically the best academic ones, and ideally the combo golf, like good golf team and good academic. But um, yeah, so we identified a couple schools, and then Berkeley was like one of my top choices, and it ended up working out really well because they were interested as well. So it was just pretty simple and nice scenario.
Yeah, you mentioned, sending emails and just reaching out to schools. When you were looking for a school, because, as we mentioned, Berkeley's a very good academically school. Were you looking for a school that was good, both had a good golf team and a good academic, school, or were you not sure initially what you wanted out of a school?
Yeah, so I was 100% sure that I wanted a good academic school.
Mhm.
Um, just because again, that was part of my education. My parents always taught me to like bring back good grades at home um and getting a good degree as well. So I think I mean getting a degree from Cal is just so nice, so cool. So if I get to graduate, that'd be perfect.
Yeah. And two-part question. You mentioned, the transition could be a little, was maybe a little difficult for you at first. Just tell me about how the transition was for you going all the way from, because you're not just going to the US, you're going all the way to California. So that's on the opposite side from where, France is. Tell me about your transition from, you're going from France to, going to school at Cal Berkeley. And, for you, you have, teammates who, a lot of them are international. You have, teammates from, England and Spain and Peru and Germany. So, given that you went, you're an international student. You went from France to Cal Berkeley. Do you think that gives you, a good understanding of what your other teammates are going through, particularly the international, teammates you have on your team?
Yeah, I think the transition, I mean, from what I remember, the first few weeks that I got here freshman year,
Mhm.
it was really hard. Like I was joking about it with some of my friends a couple days ago. It was like when you get here, you low-key forget how you at first made friends, like in your home country. Because it's like it's a whole new language, whole new people, new culture, new way of living. Honestly, like it's so different from back home. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was definitely something, but I think the one thing that really helped me was genuinely trying to like go out of my way, be outgoing, at least at first, like to make friends. And then Berkeley became like second home for me. And then, like you said, we have a pretty international team now. But my freshman year, we weren't as international as now. Like we got more and more international players through time. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's been definitely something, yeah.
Yeah. How do you think it is for you? I'm sure you learn a lot. How is it for you, having teammates from all different, backgrounds? You have, teammates from as close as California to as far as, as I mentioned, Peru, England, Germany, Spain. How for you is it just having teammates from all different, backgrounds and different countries?
I think it's so nice. I'm gonna be honest, like the fact that we have such a diverse team, it I mean, I do think that it makes us like really like strong and like open-minded just because we all have different views of life, honestly. And we did all that have different opinions, that's for sure. And we're all very strong-minded, so you kind of just learn from each other and you learn from each other's culture as well. And you just see as well, like you observe many things, and it's nice. I kind of identify to most of them, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. You can learn from, not only coaches, but from your teammates. Would you say is your team pretty, close? And has a pretty good, bond, as I would say.
I would say so, yeah. I think
Mhm.
I think we got pretty quickly pretty close. And then obviously, the team changes every year, so it's like
Yeah.
some of us leave, some of us, some new ones come, and you get to make new friends, but you also lose some. I mean, lose in a way, like you just don't get to see them every day anymore. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's yeah, we're pretty close, really close. Yeah.
Yeah, so now we're in November, your fall season's over. Obviously, we'll talk about St. Andrews after this, but just, how would you assess your fall performance in your fall season for you and for your team?
I think as a team, we did better as we went. So we won Scotland, and then we did like pretty much our best result of the fall. Yeah. So yeah, I think as a team we did better as we went through the season, and definitely Hawaii was, I think, a good way to end the season. We did like top five, which is not bad. And then I think winning Scotland was the best part of the season. And then as an individual, personally, I wouldn't say that I'm really satisfied with the way I played. Um, like obviously I had really high ups and really low downs. Um, and I think I learned so much from the season, almost more than usual, I would say. And it was just so busy for me, I'm gonna be honest. Like I think I wasn't fully in it just because I had other things going on and it was just like too much that I could really handle. I mean, handle in like the best way possible. So so yeah, I think I got so many things to learn from this season, and then next season is going to be a little different, hopefully.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, you mentioned your fall season was very, busy. You started at the Onica, then you had a match against Stanford, then you played at Oregon State's tournament in Oregon, then obviously St. Andrews, then Hawaii. Just,
So
particularly no, yeah,
I didn't play the match against Stanford and neither the
okay,
one in Oregon. So I was in
okay.
Singapore for they had the World's Championship, the amateur.
Oh yeah, yeah. I talked to another college golfer, one from Kent State. So yeah, how was your experience going
Oh,
to
nice.
Singapore and playing in that?
So playing in that was, I mean, it was great, but it was just like, 10 days of going so far away, plus the jet lag, plus the
Yeah.
travel. And then so I came back to SF, and then 3 days later we left for Scotland.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think that's pretty much what I mean by like this season was really busy.
Yeah.
And then we came back from Scotland, and a couple days later we had to leave for Hawaii. So it was just like a lot going on. That's what I meant by busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just how were you? How was it for you, and how were you able to navigate the busy fall season? You went all the way from, Singapore to Scotland to Hawaii. Just tell me about, how was it for you navigating the busy fall season for you?
Well, like I said, it kind of kept me away from playing my best, I think.
Okay.
Um, just because I wasn't able to like give it really all I got on each tournament. I mean, I did give it all I had, but um, I just wish I could have given more, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think, but honestly, like I don't regret anything. Like I made choices to go to Singapore, or like I could have also, um, I don't know, managed my season differently. And I don't think I would have done it any other way looking back right now. It was definitely like tough and challenging and all that, but I think I would do it again if I had to.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was pretty cool. Anytime just getting to represent France and playing that
Yeah.
tournament, I'm sure it was pretty cool. For my next question, at least looking at your schedule, your all your college tournaments until you get to the ACC tournament are in California. So I'm sure that'll be great for you and for your team. All of your regular season tournaments up until the ACC tournament will be in California, so it'll probably be good just staying, in the home state.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into obviously, the main reason for this interview is, you shot the women's course record at the St. Andrews Old Course, obviously very historic, course in the game of golf. You shot a 63 in the medal match playing. Your team won the St. Andrews Collegiate. You opened with a front nine of 30 and then, finished with that 63. Just tell me about, first off, just tell me about the travel and what it was like for your team going all the way from from Berkeley in California all the way to St. Andrews in Scotland. Just how was the travel for your team? I'm sure that was probably a long travel going all the way to Scotland.
Yeah, so it was definitely a long travel. I mean, our longest. So I think it was our best trip. Like honestly, it was so fun. And also it was quite funny to see some of my teammates' reactions when they got to Scotland. Because I mean most of them actually no, most of the American ones, it was their first time either in Europe or in Scotland particularly. It was so fun to see them like enjoy and see all that. And also we got really lucky because the weather was perfect. Like genuinely did not have a single tear of rain, so it was perfect. And then yeah, I mean honestly it was perfect trip. And then that round like made it even more special. I had my family there as well. So yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's great. So talking about your round, you opened with a front nine of 30, then on hole 10, you made an eagle. So you birdied 5 through 9, then made an eagle on 10. So just tell me, after your front nine of 30, making the turn and then going to number 10, did you, know where you stood and that you were, playing pretty well, or did you not know where you stood after, birding 5 through 9, then making the eagle on 10? Just how did you, feel throughout your round, playing so well?
So I think Um, so the day before, I had played with my opponent already, and it
Okay.
was TK. And I had seen the way she plays, and I knew she was going to play good the next day. Like genuinely, I knew it. And I played so bad that one day, and so I was like, oh my God, like this is not okay. So I went to the range, hit balls for like an hour, and I had to find like a solution. I had to find something, right? And then the next day, since I felt good, like I had found solutions, I just felt like relaxed. I was just like chilling. And so I think the five birdies in a row that happened, I was just so locked in on the match because I knew like she kept like, even though I was playing really good that day, she was like right behind me. The whole entire course, I did not have a single moment where I actually felt safe and like, as in like, I'm going to win this. Like never have I thought this on the course because she
Mhm.
was always right behind me. And so when I made these birdies, I don't know, I just didn't realize until after 10, I think. I was just locked in trying to like keep the momentum going and keep the pressure on her because I feel like as soon as you let a tiny bit of space, like these kind of people that actually play really good, like they can just destroy you at that point. So I was just I have a little bit of experience in match play, so I know how these people work, and I just know that I did not want to let her any space. So I was just locked in, trying to do as best as I could and just try to hit the greens, make the putts. And so, like you said, after nine, I was like 6 under. And the last time I was 6 under after nine, it did not end up so well. And
Okay.
that was this summer. So I think going through 10, I was just like, okay, like breathe. This is fine. Just get through 10, then we'll see. And
Hmm.
then on number 10, so that's this one par four that's going uphill, but that's kind of reachable if
Yeah.
you hit it like far. So I was just a little short of the green. And I had like a, I don't know, like 20 meters putt from just outside the green. And so I saw the ball like rolling, rolling, and then it dropped. And then I was like, that's when I really realized that this was going to be a great day, I think. Just because the planets were aligned, honestly. That's kind of how I felt. So at like bouncing back on your question, it's just the five first birdies that I made in a row. It was didn't feel real until after 10, I think.
Yeah. So you mentioned being 6 under through nine, and like this summer, you're playing pretty well after 9 holes. You weren't able to keep the momentum. So just, how did you, at St. Andrews, how were you able to keep the momentum after, being under after nine? You obviously made the eagle as you just described on hole 10. But how were you able to keep the momentum? Did you like not know where you stood? Just tell me about that, how you were able to keep up the good play after, a good front nine in that match.
Well, like I said, I think low key, my opponent kind of kept me in the game and like she
Okay.
kept me locked in just because I knew she could reverse the situation at any point. So I was really every single hole I was trying to like put more pressure and add on pressure all the time and just not let her any space to like play her game. So that kept me going. And then also just like honestly like breathing. Like even my caddy was telling me to breathe. So it was kind of funny actually. And yeah, I mean that's what kept me locked in really.
Yeah, so you mentioned, I believe prior, you mentioned, playing TK from Princeton even the night before that is what, motivated and inspired you to play well, because you know that TK is a good player. So did that, that motivated you, that, you wanted to play well, to beat TK and get, the point for your team in the match? I'm sure is that correct in saying that you were motivated to play her and you just wanted to, do well and hopefully win the match for your team?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
100%. I was just trying my best. Like I knew she was a good player. But I also knew that somehow in match play, like when the other one plays good, you usually are able to like level up.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what happened. I was just we were both in a momentum, I'm gonna be honest. It was a great match. Um, and she played really good. She shot bogey free. It was impressive to watch as well. Like her never giving up was kind of crazy, I'm gonna be honest. Like even when I was four up, like I said, I was just not that
Mhm.
confident.
Yeah. And this was a medal match play, so it wasn't a normal match play, style, tournament. So have you ever had experience with medal match play? I've heard about it because I was watching this tournament on TV, but heard a little bit about it. I've never really, seen too many tournaments do medal match play. So have you ever had experience doing that, or not really too much?
Never played. It was my first time playing middle match play.
Yeah, was there any, adjustment for you versus, playing medal match play versus, the traditional match play format, or was there no, difference for you?
I think the only difference was um, I felt it on the back nine a little bit because I was like four up after 10, four shots up. But
Yeah.
like I think the main difference is you can gain more than one shot on each hole, right?
Mhm.
All it takes is just me making, I don't know, a bogey or a double and she makes birdie, and then we're back to almost even, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that was the main thing that was different. But besides that, I approached it the same as match play, honestly, like just keeping pressure on her,
Yeah. That makes sense.
course long, and have as many shots up as I can on the last hole, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Keep the pressure on your opponent, and with medal match play, you have to stay locked in for um, you know, every hole. So, two more questions about St. Andrews. Just, when you were finishing, you shot that 63, the course record. Did you know it was a course record, or did you not know? And just, what does it mean to you now? The women's course record at, the St. Andrews Old Course, one of the, more most historic courses in the game of golf?
So I knew that the course record was 11 under because my caddy had told
Okay.
me when I talked about it a little bit on the course. And he told me that the men's one was 11 under. And so obviously when I was 10 under after 16, I had this in mind. Like I had this in a corner of my mind, but I also knew that 17 was one of the toughest holes ever.
Oh yeah.
And so I was, I don't know, like it was definitely in my mind, but I was also trying to keep it safe in a way, you know what I mean? And then so when I shot 63, I wasn't even thinking about it. It was just I was in the moment and I don't know, I was just enjoying being in the present really. And like I said, I had my family there, so I just went to hug them. I even had a picture on the bridge while playing 18. So like we stopped and we like took a picture walking up, and then that was really fun. So that's all I was thinking about, honestly. And then later on after recording, like yes, I did like realize that it was course record, especially because my coach had told me, she was like, "Oh my God, like you just shot course record, that's crazy." And so I think I realized that like couple minutes slash hours afterwards. But really I was just in the moment when it happened. So it was
Yeah,
really
I'm sure.
nice.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really special for you. As you mentioned, your family was there getting to shoot the women's course record. And, for my next question, just how special was it? You shot the course record, but then your team won the match over Princeton. So how special was it to get the win in St. Andrews? And then second part to the question, just how special is it, that you got to play a college tournament at St. Andrews, and just that we're having, college tournaments at places like, the St. Andrews Old Course.
I think honestly, I was looking back on it the couple days that followed St. Andrews, and I'm so grateful that we got to play in this. Because it's kind of a one time in a program type of tournament, like besides the University of St. Andrews that gets to play it every year. Besides them, like we all go only once, you know what I mean? I don't know, maybe in 10 years we'll go again. I have no idea, but
Yeah,
really, really grateful to have experienced that. And winning there was just like bonus, honestly. 'Cause it was already so much fun, and then the fact that we won there, it made it like even more special. It made it like so unique, honestly. That's what I mean by like when I say that it was our best tournament, I really, really mean it.
yeah, I'm sure that's really special, something you'll remember forever. And as you mentioned, they announced the teams for next year. It'll be new teams, so very special that your team even got, selected to play in that tournament. But it's a pretty cool tournament. Um, so I also wanted to talk about something else because this could give, good perspective to someone listening to this interview. Yeah, in your final tournament in Hawaii this fall, you started out with 2 under, then second round you had 5 over. So just tell me about, not only just starting well, but then how do you deal with, when you go from, starting out a tournament very well, shooting 2 under, then, having a second round that's not, what you would have hoped. How do you just deal with, the difficulty of going from, playing very well, shooting under par, then, shooting a few over par. Just how do you deal with that as a player?
So I think what happened in Hawaii was like that second round, I remember I was just not able to swing the my club. Like genuinely, I just so the Hawaii course that we played, it was kind of just either you hit the fairway, either you hit in the lava, and then in the lava you're
Okay.
out. Like you play and you re-tee. And so I think it was just like I missed a couple drives and then lost confidence out of this because it's every single hole is like this. You know what I mean? So you can't really miss. Like there's nowhere you can really miss. So you gotta really stay locked in. And yeah, so I think first couple holes I messed up and then lost confidence a little bit. And then I ended up shooting 5 over because it goes pretty quickly. Like even though I'm trying my best to like concretize opportunities like birdie ops and like limit bogeys and double bogeys, but I think it was just challenging, and I think the way I dealt with it was just accepting that you can't be playing uh good every day. I think that's also like these days, the days where you shoot 5 over, they're the days that actually make you like bounce back. So you go back to the range and you like gain confidence again. Because in a way, it can be really worse. I mean, I'm saying that it can always be worse, but um like it feels like you can only bounce back from it. And I think that's almost a good feeling. Like I used to hate that feeling just because I felt so low and bad, like a bad player. But the more it goes, the more I'm learning that it's just an opportunity to bounce back, honestly.
Yeah,
So
so
just,
for so what I'm getting is you're saying that, golf is just, every round and every day is different challenge, and especially this course was a challenge. Just in general, because this was a challenging course. I see some players just looking at the leaderboard, some players went from, three
yeah.
under to then shooting six over to three under. One player went two under to four over. So this was just a challenging course, and each round was, a different challenge. Is that correct?
I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, each course is different and each
Yeah.
course is challenging in a way. But I think the main difference was in my head. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
two under, I was feeling pretty confident in my swing and my putting and everything, and so it felt pretty normal to shoot two under. It was just like the round in St. Andrews. Like when I was playing, I did not feel like anything crazy was happening. I just felt good in my swing. I felt confident. I felt like I had the right rhythm. I was just like in it. And the five over in contrast was just like, oh my God, like this is so messy. And then it's a circle. So like confidence brings confidence. And then when you lose confidence, it's obviously harder to get it back. So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
And I cover and follow college golf, so I saw a lot of coaches and players say this was a pretty cool way going to Hawaii and finish up the fall season. So, outside of the performance for you and your team, just how was the experience? Finishing the fall season in Hawaii.
I mean, it's always nice. Hawaii is like the kind of tournament that you want to end the season with. It's just like obviously the weather's perfect. You usually stay in a nice house with like a pool. The environment is fire. Honestly, it's so nice. The food there in Nanea, the course that we played, was really good. And really fresh too. And yeah, I mean everything's nice. You're playing cards, so it's not tiring. Obviously, the course is hard, like challenging, but I still think it's a great way to end the season. And also, there's a like the field of players was great. So yeah, definitely a great way to finish the season.
Yeah. So three more questions that I thought of that I wanted to ask. Growing up in France for yourself, were there any players you looked up to? Do you look up to like, Celine Boudier, Matthew Pavon, some of the best, French players right now? Were there any players you looked up to growing up in France?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Celine is playing amazing. Like she's really impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like so many players that I admire in some ways.
Yeah.
I grew up really with the
I'm sure just in general, sorry to cut you off, but just even, playing Annika's tournament and just, playing her tournament, I'm sure that was pretty cool because she's one of the best, female golfers of all time.
yeah, I mean, Annika is like prime women's golf, obviously.
Yeah.
She's amazing. What she's doing for women's golf and women's college golf
Yeah.
is really
And then she
great. I
has
really
her,
admire that. Yeah, I
yeah,
think
her LPGA tournaments this week. So that's great. So for my final two questions, just what do you see for, this spring season, hopefully for you and your team and, in your senior season, just what do you see hopefully going forward for you and your team?
yeah. So I think spring season is going to be I'm not going to say better, but I think more consistent, more regular.
Yeah,
We're
at least.
playing kind of the same type of tournament, same
Mhm.
place. Yeah, California, like you said.
Yeah, and your
And
ACC tournament will be in Wilmington, North Carolina. So that'll be the first
yeah,
time as a team you'll be traveling there. So it'll be a good
yeah,
test.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, finally, just what have you enjoyed most about college golf and just getting to attend, Cal Berkeley?
I think how balanced it is. So like
Mhm.
obviously you work a lot at school, in golf, in the gym, in your personal life. Like there's so many components. But I think what's so nice here is just like I said, how balanced it is. Like you get to play a tournament and then school is also important here. So it's not you go straight back to practice. It's you actually take care of your schoolwork before you go back to practice. And then you still go to the gym, obviously. You still see your friends. Everything's just very nice. Yeah, nice and sweet for sure.